Hey leaders, welcome to Sole-utions Saturday. I'm Dr. Cara and I'm literally kicking it real with you today. Sneakers on, truth flowing, and ready to dive deep into what we have been exploring. Before we start, I need to tell you something. Over the past 2 weeks, we have been dismantling some pretty fundamental beliefs about authentic leadership and personal worth. And your comments and messages are revealing patterns that I never expected to see. So today, I'm doing what I love most, which is getting real with you, summarizing breakthroughs that we've uncovered, and sharing some brand new insights that are emerging from your questions. Because here's what I've learned. Most leadership development is actually making leaders less authentic, not more. The real transformation happens in the spaces between what we teach and what we're actually experiencing. Stick around because I'm about to reveal 3 breakthrough insights that came directly from your questions. Insights that are going to change how you think about authentic leadership forever. Let's recap this authentic leadership journey, but I want to share with you what I'm seeing now that I didn't see 2 weeks ago. On Monday, during the authenticity paradox, we exposed how trying to perform authenticity has become just another exhausting leadership mask. But here's what I'm realizing from your responses. This isn't just about individual performance. We're dealing with what I'm calling cultural authenticity anxiety. Here's my take. Many organizations are literally gaslighting leaders. They are demanding authenticity while simultaneously punishing vulnerability. You're not just performing, you're trying to solve an impossible equation that the culture itself has created. On Wednesday, during the Hidden Polarity, we explored navigating the tension between identity, integrity, and external approval. Your questions reveal something deeper. Most leaders don't actually know which pole that they are overgripping until they've already exhausted themselves. Here is the breakthrough insight. Polarity blindness is a leadership crisis. You can't navigate what you don't see. Frankly, most leadership training is making this worse by forcing leaders to pick sides in battles that they don't even know need to be fought. This week's Monday, when difficult conversations get personal, we uncovered why these conversations activate identity fears. But I'm seeing a pattern in your comments that's fascinating. You're not just afraid of having the conversation. You're afraid of what you'll discover about yourself in the conversation. That is what I'm calling the mirror effect. Difficult conversations force us to see aspects of our leadership that we have been avoiding. Wednesday, in the protection game, we expose the worthiness stories that we protect. Here's what's emerging. The protection game isn't just individual psychology, it is systemic leadership conditioning that starts early and runs deep. The leadership development industry has created a generation of leaders who are more insecure than ever. We've taught them to constantly question their worth instead of recognizing their inherent value. What I'm seeing is that your questions aren't just about technique. They're about disprogramming decades of conditioning about what makes leaders acceptable. I'm going to say something that might upset some people. The leadership industrial complex has been selling solutions to problems that they created. In a minute, I'm going to share 3 game-changing insights your questions taught me. But your questions reveal something I've never articulated before. We're not just dealing with individual leadership challenges. We're navigating what I call the leadership identity crisis of 2025. Here's what most leadership experts are missing. The harder you try to be authentic, the more inauthentic you become. It's a paradox that's crushing even the most well-intentioned leaders. Here's my take. Most authenticity advice is complete garbage because it treats authenticity like a performance technique instead of a way of being. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share 3 insights that solve this paradox and transform how you think about authentic leadership. These aren't just concepts. These are frameworks that you can use immediately. Let's get to your questions.
All right, Dr. Cara, let's go there. These questions and comments, they're real. They've come in over the past couple weeks, raw, reflective, and honest. And if we're being real, most leaders are thinking them, but only a few are brave enough to say them out loud. Let's get to it. Authentic leader coming in hot with a question that cuts deep. How do I know the difference between intentional alignment and just finding a more sophisticated way to perform?
This question reveals something that I hadn't fully articulated before. There's actually a third category between performance and authenticity that I am calling conscious curation. Think about a skilled musician. They're not performing in the sense of being fake. They're consciously choosing which aspects of their musical ability to emphasize for this particular song. That's conscious curation. Conscious curation is when you genuinely choose aspects of yourself to emphasize without abandoning your center. It's not performance because you're not disconnected from your values. It's not raw authenticity because you're making strategic choices. Here's a differentiator that I've discovered. Performance depletes you. Conscious curation energizes you. Even when it's challenging, your nervous system knows the difference before your mind does. The real question becomes, does this choice feel expansive or contractive in my body?
This next on is not just a question, it's a crossroads. Let's talk about it. What if my authentic self isn't what my organization needs?
This question exposes what I'm calling the effectiveness myth. The belief that authenticity and effectiveness are somehow at odds. But here's what I've learned. From over 25 years of being a psychotherapist, international psychologist, and a leadership coach. Sustainable effectiveness is impossible without authenticity. What you're calling effectiveness might actually be short-term compliance, slowly eroding trust. If your organization can't handle your authentic leadership, you're working for the wrong organization. The organizations that fear authentic leadership are usually the ones that most desperately need it. Your authentic self might be exactly what's missing from your organizational culture.
Next up, another thoughtful one. I can see the polarity intellectually, but I keep defaulting to my comfort zone.
This question led me to a breakthrough. Polarity work is somatic work. Your intellectual understanding hits a wall because the pattern is stored in your nervous system, not your mind. Each pole of a polarity has a different nervous system signature. For instance, competence might feel like controlled and contained. Relatability might feel open and expansive. You can't think your way into a new pattern. You have to embody it. Let's try this right now. Before your next interaction, physically practice an unfamiliar pole. If you overfunction on competence, take 3 breaths that soften your shoulders. If you overfunction on relatability, take those breaths that strengthen your core.
Now this is what standing in your truth looks like. I identified my values' intention, but I still freeze up when the moment comes.
This is what I'm calling values integration lag. Your conscious mind knows that your values can work together, but your nervous system still perceives a threat. Integration isn't immediate, it's iterative. Your system needs repeated experiences of safety while holding both values before it trusts integration. Start smaller. Practice holding both values in lower stakes conversations first. Your nervous system, it needs proof, not just principles.
This next comment is real and deserves acknowledgement. Changing my protection pattern feels terrifying.
Your terror is actually data. It's revealing what I'm calling the protection paradox. The very patterns that exhaust us all feel like survival strategies. You don't abandon protection, you graduate from it. Your protection patterns served you once. The work isn't to shame them, but to evolve from them. Most therapy and coaching actually keeps leaders stuck in protection mode by endlessly analyzing why they protect instead of teaching them how to trust. Instead of stop protecting, Try protect differently. Instead of protecting your image, protect your integrity. Instead of protecting others' comfort, protect potential for growth.
And last but never least, a question every growth-minded leader wrestles with. How do I know if I'm making progress?
This question has led me to develop what I'm calling the integration indicators, tangible signs that transformation is taking root. Energy shifts. Real change increases your energy even when it's challenging. Spontaneous responses. You start responding differently without planning it. Systemic changes. People around you begin showing up differently. Curiosity over certainty. You become more interested in learning than being right. Discomfort tolerance. What used to feel impossible now feels just unfamiliar. Progress isn't linear. It's spiral. You're not going in circles. You are going deeper. Here's what your questions have taught me over these past 2 weeks. We're not just transforming individual leadership, we're participating in a cultural shift. The old leadership paradigm, it was built on scarcity. That's a deficit of worth. Scarcity of authenticity. A deficit of permission to be human. Your questions reveal that you are ready for something entirely different. We're not broken leaders who need fixing. We are pioneers navigating uncharted territories. The discomfort you feel, it's not failure. It is the growing pains of evolution. And remember, we don't arrive. We are constantly evolving as leaders. Here's my prediction. 5 years from now, leaders who learned to navigate authenticity, integrate polarities, and lead from their inherent worth, they won't just be more effective. They will be the ones running organizations while everyone else is still trying to figure out how to do authenticity. The leaders stuck in the old paradigm will be obsolete. Next Monday, we are diving deeper into what I am calling emotional leadership navigation. Because everything that we've explored comes down to this. Can you stay connected to yourself when everything around you is activating disconnection? I'm going to share the airplane holding pattern. And it isn't just about mapping out emotions. It is about becoming the kind of leader who can hold space for others' emotional storms because you've learned how to navigate your own. Drop a comment and tell me which of these insights hit you the hardest. Was it the third category discovery, the effectiveness myth, or the polarity somatic connection? If these insights are helping you see authentic leadership differently, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started. We are building a community of leaders who are ready to lead from truth instead of performance. And if you've missed any of this series, I've created a playlist, Authentic Leadership, that walks you through the entire framework. The link is in the description. Your questions are already transforming how I think about this work, so please keep them coming. And remember, you're not learning to be a different leader. You're learning to be the leader that you already are underneath all of the conditioning. Until Monday, stay curious, stay connected, and keep questioning everything. You do not have to shrink to lead. You just have to show up as you are.